This school trains killers to master the deadly arts. It's dedicated to the self-liberation of oppressed people. People like you.
Here at King's Dominion, you survive your way, and I'll survive mine.
The rules are simple. No disobedience, no drugs, and no sex.
That's all you savages think about. You've got dicks on the brain.
Hating what's wrong is easy. I'm gonna do something about it.
Well, let's see what you've got. We're gonna party forever and rule the world.
Have a good weekend, future disruptors of America.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. The Walking Dead. Z Nation. Van Helsing. DC Titans. Flash. The Legends of Tomorrow. Black Lightning. American Horror Story. Green Arrow. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your boy Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio. Today, we have an amazing gentleman. He's a young, up-and-rising actor, and you're going to see a lot of him. He's in an amazing new hit television series that's launching in mid-January, I believe on the 16th. He's one of the main characters on the show. He's a badass. We have Luke Tennie. Luke, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's up? I am splendid. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Thank you for taking the time and coming on Comic-Con Radio and chatting with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Love you, man. People can't wait till Deadly Class comes out. They're like trembling over it. And they're trembling to see you, man.
Well, I can't wait either, man. I'm stoked. As soon as I read the comics, I became a fan too. To be honest, I'm just as excited as they are.
That's really cool. So, Luke, I wanted to ask you, you have an accent. On the show, you play this really tough guy. Where are you from?
I was born in Chicago, and I grew up in South Florida. So I'm an East Coast dude. Actually, I know that Willie is West Coast, but he is so passionate about rap and hip-hop, and that all started on the East Coast. So when I went into audition, I did an East Coast dialect because that's what I thought worked for me. I didn't really know much about the character. But then as I got callbacks and became a member of the Deadly Class team, I learned the hip-hop and the East Coast sound is just the lifeblood of who this guy is. So I figured that's how he should sound, which is why he speaks the way he speaks.
That's really cool, man. No, you sound really cool. We got the honor of seeing the first episode a while back. It was really great. Then it launched on TV as a little promo teaser for the world, and fans were hitting us up like crazy. And they asked us, because every year we pick a handful of shows that we really support and we go after, and we talk to everybody on the cast, we bring them on the show, we just follow them, and we do everything that we can for that show to be number one. The fans were like, Deadly Class, and we were like, we had Deadly Class already on our radar, and we're going to have some of the amazing cast members. We got a bunch of your cast members coming out to the radio show in the next few weeks doing interviews, but you're our first one. How does that feel, man?
Feels good to me, man. I love this team, and oh my goodness. If you see any sort of chemistry on the television, it's because we actually like each other. The acting is when we act like we don't like each other. So we just got a really tight-knit squad of artists, professionals, and respectful men and women who are real passionate about telling this story. And I'm just glad that you thought to invite me because, shoot, I love talking about this show. I love being on the show, and I can't wait to see this show. I'm excited, man.
This is one of your first recurring roles, right? This is a first show that you...
This is my first recurring role. This is me making it. This is the start for me. I'm not a vet in any way, shape, or form. I'm just blessed to be where I'm at, and I'm blessed that I get to bring this character to life at this point in mine. So,
how does it feel?
Feels good. It's a challenge. I graduated from college 2016 in June. I never thought that I'd be able to play the toughest character for me so soon. When I was in college, we worked on Shakespeare and the Greeks, and that stuff was hard, man. But it was hard because of the words and the fact that they're so grand and the way you have to shape your mouth and all those vowels and stuff. You learn a lot of that technique. But what I didn't expect was a contemporary character who's real, a contemporary character who you could see on the street one day, somebody who you could meet today. I didn't expect that that would be so much of a challenge because he's so much like me and so different from me at the same time. Most characters I played in college were just different. This guy, there's a lot that we have in common. Just makes for an exciting experience.
That's pretty cool, man. When you heard that you got the part, how excited were you, and who was the first person that you told?
First person I told, let me think. So my friend who helped me read for the audition, his name is Esteban. And when I found out I got the part, I wasn't really trying to get too excited because the way this industry works, you could get something and it could leave the very next day. So I told him, I was like, yo, man, we're in the running. They told me they want me and all that. He was like, yo, you got the part, man. You got it. I know you got it. I was like, well, we're going to wait and see. You know, it shoots in Vancouver. He's like, I'm telling you, you got it, man. You have it. And he was right. So I shook the fear off, and the fear just transformed into excitement and passion. And now I'm telling this story.
I saw that first episode. I saw your character. Your character is tough on the outside, but it shows that he has a lot of heart. He's sympathetic. He's empathetic. And he's actually caring. So, you know, we can't wait to see the rest of the season and how it goes because, yeah, he's tough because he has to be tough because of his family background, but I want to see his heart kick in, and I know those things are going to kick in. Do you think there's some of Willie in you in real life?
Oh, absolutely. My last name is Tennie, and the little playing words that we had when I was in high school was some of the people called me Tennie Bear, and I wish that they would stop. I'm a big dude. I was playing football, and I wanted to be tough, and I wanted to be respected for my strengths. They're like, nah, you Tennie Bear. You a softie. I was like, okay. I even had this one coach. I would play so hard, and I was real passionate and adamant about maintaining my relationship with my church back in those days. And everybody on the team knew that I was very passionate about being active in my church community, to the point where if I was ever soft on a play, my coach would be like, hey, Tennie, do me a favor and be a Christian after the play is over. Can you do that for me? I don't know, coach, man. I'm trying. Yeah, so I'm a softie at heart too. But now I've learned from storytelling that the truth is just worth it. As far as I'm concerned, the truth is always better than anything less. And my character values survival over the truth. So we are similar in the fact that we just value gentle and caring hearts, but we're different because he will sacrifice the truth for survival every time. And to me, truth is survival. That's a lot of fun to play with.
That's deep, man. And that's great to hear because you're right. He'll sacrifice anything. And from, from the comics and seeing that first episode, we've read all the comics here. We have a cool team here. They're into like everything, fandom and beyond.
Oh, cool.
And, we were discussing it earlier. We were like, imagine how amazing Deadly Class is going to do at Comic-Con this summer. You guys are going to be like fan favorites. It's going to be hectic.
Man.
Are you excited and ready for Comic-Con this summer?
I'm stoked. I went to my first one this past year, and what was so exciting to me was they didn't know who we were. And by we, I mean the actors. They had no idea who we were. They just knew that our faces were going to be on the thing that they would watch. But they were such fans of the book. They were such fans of the original source material, such fans of Rick Remender, such fans of Wes Craig, that the spirit of that room, it felt just like how it feels to read the comic and then discuss with a comrade what the comic did to you, what feelings it gave you. Just the spirit of art was in that room, and it was really exciting. And now coming back, after they get to see what we've done and all the hard work we put in the show, I'm excited to see their response because Rick was not just on board. He was the showrunner. He was instrumental in developing the scripts. He was instrumental. He was on set. He was a fundamental part of our creation. So our comic is the source material, but our show is going to expand on that source. And I'm so stoked to see what people have to say.
Once the season goes through, oh my God, brother, you gotta be very careful because you're gonna have people chasing you down the street left and right. You just gotta not go for coffee anymore. No more lunch, ordering DoorDash and stuff like that.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm just glad that if anybody's a fan of the comic, if they get to meet me, then that's something we have in common. We could talk comic all day because I've read that thing about 5 times now.
That's really cool. Is any of the other cast members that when you met them, you're like, wow, I'm a fan, or I've seen them before. That's really cool. I'm working with them now.
Oh, yeah. When I found out Benedict Wong was going to play
Yeah,
Master,
right?
I almost lost my mind. I'm such a Marvel fan. I can't tell you how many times I've seen all the Marvel films, but I've seen them all. I saw Infinity War 3 times in theaters. When I found out the Russos were executive producing this show, again, I almost lost my mind. So when I'm shaking hands and being professional and all that, and I got my little gap tooth smile and I look easy and confident, I'm not. I'm flipping out because I'm a fanboy as well. I'm honored to be a part of this comic book world, and just bringing these things from page to screen is the coolest thing. Getting to see Benedict Wong swing a bow staff around, getting to see him kick some butt on screen as a magician, and then come over here as the leader of an atelier of the deadly arts. I mean, come on. How cool does that get?
Really cool, man. Cool. It must have felt
I flipped
good.
out when I met him. He's a good dude. He's a real good dude. He's a sweetheart.
It must have felt so good. Now, I know it's based in San Francisco. Was there a lot of filming in San Francisco, or was it on set in somewhere else?
Actually, all of Deadly Class was shot in Vancouver. All of it.
Of course.
So if you see anything that looks real authentic to the West Coast, United States, it's probably because our set and prop department are beasts. They work so hard. They work tirelessly to create the world of the comic on screen. And it's not just, oh, we need to make it look like the comic. They think really hard because the comic is really, it's a high level of art. The colors change. Sometimes the characters are in blue light and they look blue. Their skin is blue. Their clothes are blue because of the way that it's lit. Now, to translate that kind of artistry into real life is difficult. So what they've done is they've taken practical things and they've taken logical ways of bringing something to life, and they've justified it with, now we have Chinese references in some of the architecture, or maybe we'll have a wood theme throughout the entire halls of King's Dominion. Like, they worked so hard to be specific, but also to make it feel like it was brought straight from the page, just the translation from page to screen. They worked so hard, man.
That's really cool. You know, Canada, they're amazing. Every DC show is filmed there. And
DC,
we actually go
Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, all of that stuff.
Yep. It's really amazing. Vancouver, Toronto, all those cities look just like everything in America and all over the world. For you as being a youngster and going out to Canada for months at a time filming, it must have been so fun and exciting.
Yeah. And what was great is Ben, the actor who plays our beloved hero, Marcus, he was actually my roommate. So we got to kick it all the time, on set and off set. And we got to explore Vancouver, take cabs, and just go check out the city. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's crazy because the fall, it's really cool sensation you feel on your skin. But the trees look like fire. It's red, orange, and yellow, and it's just gorgeous. It's a really cool place to be, especially during that time of the year. And I hope we go back around the same time for season 2. And I think there will be a season 2 because we've worked tirelessly for season 1 to be something that people will enjoy. And I'm hoping that season 2 is going to come through and top it.
It's going to go for season 3, 4, and 5. And now that you're on our radar, Comic-Con Radio's radar, we're going to slap our watch live hashtag on your show. And you're going to get our tens of thousands of fans backing you guys up. Because when we go after a show, we go after a show. And our fans, I love them so much. They're amazing. Without them, we're nothing. They already love your show. They haven't even seen it yet because we said love their show. So it's going to be cool. I don't want to ask,
man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nah, no problem, man. I don't want to ask you what you're doing in the future, what projects you have coming up, because Deadly Class is your project and it is coming up. And do you have any cool stories from on set that happened that you could share with the fans out there?
Well, I can let them know that a lot of fans of this show are probably fans of Henry Rollins. That dude is one of the most intelligent, intellectual, articulate brothers I've ever met. That dude is sharp. And one of the coolest things for me, this is something that really inspired me, is I really got to know Rick throughout this process, because if you want to get to know these characters, it's one thing to read the comic, but you also have a very, very valuable resource with the writer of the source material being on set. So we would chop it up and talk. And he's one of the guys who told me about Willie and how he was based off of a real individual, and really kind of convicted me to make sure he looked authentic on screen. But one of the coolest things I learned about Rick was how big of a Henry Rollins fan that man is. He loved Black Flag. He loved the music. He loved punk. And one of the coolest things for me was I wasn't even there on set that day. But as I'm reading my script and preparing to go on set, I recognized, Rick wrote these words too. He wrote the script too. And that Henry Rollins, somebody that he looked up to his entire life, is going to say the words that he wrote. How cool is that? And it just kind of inspired me that sometimes when you work hard, it pays off. Sometimes when you put in that work, you're going to see the reward. Just inspiring, as an artist to see somebody get to work with one of their heroes, somebody who gets to direct them and instruct them on bringing a character to life. And now their collaboration is going to be Jürgen Denke on the show. And I'm just inspired by that, man. He worked so hard and his dreams are coming true. He's got a lot more life to live and a lot more stories to tell. Glad I get to be a part of this one.
You're a good dude, man. You speak very positive. I love positive people. I tell all the producers here on Comic-Con Radio, only bring me positive people. I only want to chat with positive people because all we got to be is positive. There's enough hate and garbage in the world. And you speak so eloquent, man. Like you've studied for like 100 years and your words and the way you say things.
Thank you, man.
I
had a lot of help.
You had a lot of help. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They really instilled the spirit of sharp wit and kindness in me. And they told me, too, when they named me, my name means light. The literal translation of Luke means light. And that's what they challenged me to be. So I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling a little lazy, feeling a little negative. I just think to myself, let me live up to that name that my parents gave me. And it really helps, man. It really does. I'm all for that. That positive spirit, that positive energy. That's what we got, man. Let's do it. Let's keep it going.
That's cool, man. Anybody back home excited about you? Or is your friends back home like, oh my God, Luke is in an amazing TV show coming up?
The coolest thing that I found out is the people I'm close with. For some reason, when I got cast, I was surprised. But them, they have this kind of, I would say, unhealthy faith in me. They just thought, hey, man, I see you going places. I was like, I don't see where I'm going. I don't have a GPS. God didn't text me, send me a tweet. He didn't hashtag me on Instagram. I don't know what's going on. But they sure enough have the faith in me that I didn't have. So they weren't surprised, but they're definitely proud. And having that support behind me, it's a feeling like nothing else, man. Being able to live up to people's expectations as opposed to proving them wrong manifests in a totally different path.
That's really cool, man. And, I don't even want to ask you who your favorite character is on the show, but I got to ask you, who's your favorite character except yourself on the TV show?
You know what? I've thought long and hard about this, and it's not really who my favorite is, but it's kind of like per episode, which one got me in my feelings. And let me tell you, the stuff we got coming up for Billy, y'all need to buckle your seatbelt. Because the way that dude sees the world, if you put on those Billy shades and you look and you see the comedy in this dark, dark environment, it could change your heart. But sometimes those shades aren't enough to block out that extreme, dark, dark world. And what we've got coming up for him is something that I don't think anybody will expect, even fans of the comic. I suggest you stay tuned to see what's going on with Billy, because that dude, he's working on my heart, man. Breaking my heart.
That's really cool. Luke, what is your social media? Because I know fans want to reach out to you. Do you have an Instagram? Do you have a Twitter? Like, what do you have so people can reach out?
Yes, sir, to all the fans everywhere. You can follow me on any platform at Luke.Tennie. Simple. Tennie is Tenni to the E. That's me, Luke Tennie. You can do that. And there I am, just being a goofball, being happy, being excited. So if y'all want to do that, you are welcome to.
Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there? Because I know you're on a tight schedule. Usually we talk for like hours or an hour and a half with some people, but I know you're on a tight schedule. I know you got things to do. So is there anything you want to say to the fans out there before we call off on this show?
First thing I want to say is thank you. We would not be able to do this show if it wasn't for people wanting us to do the show. The other thing I want to say is thank you again, because we would not be making this show if it wasn't for y'all. And that's it. Really appreciate you guys being out there, being excited, because after I read the comics, I'm just as much of a fan as you are. I'm just blessed enough to be able to tell one of these characters' stories. So I'm psyched to see the show too, guys. Thank you so much.
You're a good man. We can't wait to see you at Comic-Con this year, or many different Comic-Cons, because I know San Diego's the largest one, but, you know, we go all over the world, and I know you guys are going to be invited all over, and I know your character is going to be one of the biggest fan favorites. You're the tallest dude in the cast. You're going to be one of the biggest fan favorites. You're a cool guy, very eloquent, amazing, a young actor. You're going places. You're going to be sky high. And listen, Luke, I want you to come back on Comic-Con Radio during the season so we can do a recap show and we could chit-chat and talk about everything.
Galaxy, anytime you want me, you got me. I'm there.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Luke Tennie, amazing young man. Check him out on social media. Follow him. Tennie is Tennie. We're going to have the description in the show. And guys, thank you so much. This is the end of the episode, and we're going to have him back. I promise you guys we'll have him back on the show. This is Galaxy with Luke Tennie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're signing out of Comic-Con Radio. And Luke, we're going to blow all these kisses out to all the lovely girls out there in the Comic-Con universe. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Mwah.
Mwah.
There you go. Luke, kiss you, girls. Guys, if guys, you could have it too, but girls, the kisses are for you. And thank you so much. That's it. We're checking out. Peace.
Peace.
You satisfied with your life? What if I told you there's a home for people like you? A school where you'll be surrounded by your peers.
Hi, I am Lana Condor. This is Deadly Class, and welcome to King's Dominion.
Deadly Class is about a high school for assassins set in the Reagan mid-'80s.
We've been hearing about Rick's book for a few years. The artwork is incredible. It's one of the more twisted coming-of-age stories we've ever read. So, first time we read the book, we were blown away. It's why we're standing here working on the show.
After school today, one of you's gonna die.
Deadly Class is a story of a street kid, an orphan, who has a very tragic past. He gets approached by a mysterious collection of characters who belong to a school for assassins.
I'm offering you a chance to harness that fire inside you, to master the deadly arts.
Not to be a dick, but what do you have to lose?
Nothing.
We first meet Marcus on the streets. He's kind of like a rabid dog. He has a lot of love, but he also has a lot of hate in his heart.
Hating what's wrong is easy. I'm gonna do something about it. First year will follow his training as a new assassin.
You've got the thing this place is supposed to nurture, and they all see it. And that's why they'll try and destroy you.
So there's things that I can't do in a comic. There's things that just don't fit. I only have 20 pages. And what we were able to do here is take what's in there and unpack all of the characters and the story elements and get a wider look at optics on the story and the characters in a way that we weren't able to in the book.
There's nothing sweet about us. We get to really feel the person behind the role, and that's priceless.
Dude, what's your problem?
Punk ass bitches is my problem. The cool thing about Willie is he's a badass, and I ain't no bitch like Chico. Get in the damn car.
Do you have any idea where you are?
Saya is the most athletic and deadly character in the entire series, with the exception of Master Lin.
As soon as they put on the tattoos and the hair and everything, you can't help but feel badass. Her weapon of choice is her katana. It's a massive blade, and the actual weapon itself is very heavy. And then she's just slicing it around, and it looks really amazing. And I can't wait to use it more throughout the show.
Some rep you got.
We have Maria, part of the Mexican cartel, and her combat is fluid, it's beautiful, and it's dangerous.
I love this outfit.
It actually makes me feel very powerful.
This isn't as sexy as I imagined. Safe word.
The class clown would definitely be Billy.
A mousetrap? I get it.
Even though it's a heightened world, we're really kind of digging into what it is to be a teenager in 1987.
Who listens to a Walkman at a party?
This is an authentic snapshot of Generation X, of the kids that I grew up with in the underground and the subculture. But it's also an authentic snapshot of just teenage existence.
White Snake. Putting on a bloody Rama and Def Leppard. Sweet little teasers.
Deadly Class pulls no punches in its ability to shock.
People might see some things that are happening now, things being politicized and weaponized at almost every single level.
So you want us enough Reagan?
Yeah, he killed my parents.
Changing the world is hippie bullshit.
All the action is born out of character. None of it is salacious. None of it's for spectacle. It's all very cool to look at, but contextually, you will care if somebody involved in a dangerous situation comes out of it scathed or unscathed.
Take a road trip.
A road trip?
To kill my dad. My mom, my brother, they're not gonna survive it.
It has the actions that everyone loves, but there's also a lot of heart and character and relatability.
The best part of filming so far, I think, is just being with my friends. I mean, the whole cast is amazing, and we all got really close.
The cast is incredible. I just think there's nothing like it on television. Our job is to be innovative and disruptive, and we're looking for fresh stories to tell, stories that are surprising to people. I think people are gonna be really surprised by the show.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.